Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and of course this will be astrology. For the week of Sunday, we're going to go from Sunday, May 22nd through Saturday, May 28th. And meanwhile, sending you guys lots of love and big hugs to help you get through this. I know we've been going through, witnessing a lot of painful things in the world. And my heart's here with you. Always feel free to email me or drop it in the comments if there's anything that you need, prayers and support with. And, I think more than just myself would definitely be with you on that. Yeah, but anyway, let me drop the camera down and show you these charts. We're still in Mercury retrograde. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, here and there, but it's overall looking like a pretty good week. So hold on, let me drop the camera down. Okay, so just a little recap from coming off of last week's transits, especially for my members because you guys get this early. Just remember that we're coming off of the moon that was in Capricorn and then approached. So Thursday was approaching Pluto, which can be really intense. It can be a lot of intense emotions and just intensity, especially around government, things happening. And of course we had some midterm primary races happening. I love that Tina Kotek won in Oregon, in my state, and in other states we had John Fetterman win in Pennsylvania, even though he was in the hospital recovering from a stroke, having a pacemaker put in. So that's actually really good. And Madison Cawthorn is done. So, and there was some other good news that I can't remember right now, but that would have been, this perfect mix here with the moon coming up to Pluto, that intensity up ahead of time, and then the vote, and then afterwards, crossing over Pluto, it's moving away. It's still pretty tight, from Friday, and then Saturday, what happened? Saturday by 11 p.m., we had the moon conjunct Aquarius. The moon in Aquarius, it conjuncts Saturn, which again, like Saturn and Capricorn is pretty much, government authority. But this could be some breakthrough that I was talking about last week. But so let's look at Sunday. So now that the moon has crossed over Saturn and is moving away in even later degree Aquarius, there can definitely be some breakthroughs. This combination here, just remember it's that, that T-square that we're going to be dealing with here to the, oops, let me go this way, to the nodes. I'm making a mess already, aren't I? To the north and south node, Saturn squaring the nodes. This is our aspect that is holding, Saturn is holding space for us here to help us make new rules in the government. I don't know how many will get done. We need so many new rules. We really do, to protect ourselves. I would love to see like presidential pardons just banned. I would love to see term limits on SCOTUS, seats on the bench. I would love to see rules around who can even run for president. Like you have to submit those 10 years worth of tax returns, and you have to show all your debts, and you have to show, and things need to be vetted. We need so many laws. You guys feel free to drop in the comments anything and everything you can think of as well, because we all need to be reminded of what to fight for. So with the moon crossing over Saturn, I think we may have a focus here. And of course, this square to the nodes, this combination here, now especially with the South Node in Scorpio, this is the past. The South Node's always the past. Scorpio has to do with reproductive rights. And so we're talking, women's reproductive rights. We're talking the mass shooting we had, mass shootings, I should say. There were several over the, right around the the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio that was right here at 25 degrees, right there, right? So these guys that have been planning things in all this replacement theory baloney that's been there for ages is bubbling up from the past, and this vengeful, wanting to just be your own rebel and take the law into your own hands. That's what this T-square is all about here. So women's rights, women's reproductive rights, and then on the North Node end with Taurus, it's about self-preservation. So you can see how someone who is as old as me, pushing 68, would be in this place of like looking at Roe v. Wade possibly being taken down and just wondering like what in the world, so we have to keep fighting. I don't know that we can ever stop fighting for justice and equality on Earth. It's very possible that it's way beyond our lifetimes. We're going to have to just keep at it. So moving forward with that, the Taurus North Node is also in this square to Saturn. This is also part of the, baby formula shortage, because here we had, Abbott, well, it wasn't the Abbott Laboratories division, and this has nothing to do with Governor Greg Abbott. He's not a part of Abbott Laboratories or Abbott, it was Nutrients, I think. I think it was Abbott Nutrients in Michigan was the plant that was shut down. And it had been shut down a few months back, and because the FDA couldn't certify getting the new system up after there were some deaths that happened. So it's on Abbott, but it's also on the FDA. And then Biden just released, I'm reading this on Thursday. What is the date today? My goodness, it's the 19th. So Thursday, May 19th. Biden this morning is, I guess he sent, I think it was $28 million to the FDA to get them going. Like, what do you guys need more people? What do you need? Like, why are they so slow? The FDA sucks. It literally sucks. So this is the problem, with the government here, and that's what this T-square is all about. And humanity is on high alert with this. When it comes to Aquarian energy, we're in that realm of humanity, of needing new original ideas. And not being treated humanely is very, very, very painful for an Aquarian. And then being pigeonholed is another one of the things that Aquarians don't like. Although I've had some Aquarians in my life who were kind of cold-hearted. So it's all about whether they open their hearts and whether they're not crazy, tied to QAnon, baloney, and Putin and everything else. It all depends. That's the thing about all the different signs. We can never, say one sign's really good and the other one's not. It just doesn't, it does not work that way at all. And you can't go by a sun sign. You have to see a person's entire chart. You just can't go by one thing. So, what's going on today, though, is Sunday, starting out really early in the morning. we're coming off of this, very intense situation that we went through last week and over the weekend. And things will start to cool down. Although Mars will move into Aries this week, and so things may heat up again. We're going through Mars conjunct Jupiter already. That tends to move energy. Mars moves energy, and Jupiter expands and blows things up. And Aries can be really good for starting something new and moving forward, but it is Mercury retrograde, and so you have to be careful. It doesn't mean I'm never one to say stop your life because it's Mercury retrograde. I'm saying give yourself that extra time to read the fine print, and don't be afraid of it. It's just good for reviewing, renewing, reevaluating. Look things over very, very carefully before you put things out there. Be willing to be misunderstood and don't take things personally. Be willing to make mistakes and don't feel bad if you say the wrong thing. I'm famous for that. You guys know me. I've made so many mistakes and I've had to say, that's not what I meant to say. I actually said the exact wrong thing or the exact opposite of what I was trying to say, especially when it comes to astrology. Sometimes I'll say the thing I meant to say for Scorpio, and I'll say Taurus, or remember with Trump's video around the 11,780 votes he was asking for from Raffensperger in Georgia, which he's still in hot water over, and that may be one of the things that takes him down besides the January 6th committee. Oh yeah, that was some good news that came out. I guess so this would be under the government, banner here with Saturn in Aquarius. The DOJ, so Merrick Garland asked for transcripts from the January 6th committee. And then they said, no, not yet. I absolutely love it. The news came through really, it was late for me one night, and I posted it, and then I had to post in the morning. It's like, wait, but they said no. Because I didn't realize that. So as the news comes out, we will continue to be informed, and that is because we can count on, this is a really nice aspect here. Let's go with the blue pin here. So here we have with Pluto and Capricorn, late degree Pluto Capricorn, and it's retrograde. Should do a little RX here, means retrograde. And, let's do it here too, retrograde. And the nodes, they're retrograde so often we don't even pay attention to them as astrologers. It means nothing. But anyway, because they go backwards. They travel backwards. But anyway, Pluto, trine, we've got a triple trine here. But let's focus on this one for a moment. It's Pluto trining the Sun conjunct Mercury. So Mercury's a messenger, remember that. The Sun illuminates and shines. It's personally, this is good for our self-expression and our personal development in our communication skills. So that's why I never mind Mercury retrograde. I was born in Mercury retrograde, and a third of the population is. So it's nothing to worry about, but it does help us get more fine-tuned with our creative self-expression and our ability to to speak, basically, right? To find the right words and articulate the words that we're trying to, they're in our head and we have to get them out of our head and through our vocal cords out our mouth in the right way. It doesn't always work well with me. So, but with this trine to Pluto, we're definitely looking at power structures in Capricorn. So power structures, and because Pluto's retrograde, we are revisiting the last bits of what we need to deal with. And remember, Pluto, once it goes direct, it's 28 degrees here. It's going to go all the way back to 26th and then October, early October, then it'll go forward again. But it's not going to get into even 0 degrees. It has to get to, 29, has to get out of the shade. And it's not going to even get into Aquarius until 2023, like the spring of 2023. But then from there, it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. And so anyway, this it's doing, we're not going to be done with it. It won't be totally into the Aquarius to stay until about November 19th, 2024. So we're still in these 2 years of needing to work through whatever is lacking in our own empowerment, and what's lacking within our government's power over us. But with that being said, in the best sense of Capricorn, we should be okay with working hard, because Capricorn's always about self-responsibility in the highest levels. If it's in the dark side, then this is people trying to control us. These are narcissistic idiots that they're not going to change. Narcissism doesn't, it's so rare. You'd have to be like a low-level type of a narcissist that would go through a lot of therapy, and then there'll be change. But for the most part, these born psychopaths like Putin and Trump and a lot of these other, politicians, it's ridiculous. Like what, Oz? Mehmet Oz? Are you kidding me? We've got another dirtbag grifter, what do we call, TV reality star, so-called star. I mean, he's trashing his own career is what he's doing. So give them all a couple of years and we'll see where they are. And Alex Jones, let's see where he goes. He just made self-implode. He's so angry, and he's angry, and he's saying crazy things, and he's asking people to pray with him, and he's blowing up. I've watched him go from a normal-looking guy to somebody he's now morbidly obese. So yeah, buy his products. Buy his nutritional supplements. My goodness. Whoa. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox here and stop talking trash. And let's just focus on us. So for us, with the later degree Capricorn, we can really get into our sense of duty to our own lives, to how we want to have control over our own lives. And we really can only control our own lives to the degree that we can control ourselves. So, these are good times for gathering information to have more integrity in your life, to have more, find the truth. You hear something on the news and it's like, don't take for granted that they're telling you the truth, especially if you're on Fox News or OAN or some of these other channels that are literally getting their scripting from, from other countries, from other communist countries. So I thought I was done with my soapbox, but apparently not. So gathering the truth is what the Sun conjunct Mercury is all about. And Mercury retrograde in Gemini, as the Sun keeps traveling through the zodiac, we're going to have Mercury retrograde here until it goes direct on June 2nd. But it won't get out of the shadow until June 18th or 19th. It has to get beyond 4 degrees and 51 minutes, so just about 5 degrees, which would put us on the June 19th. So there's that. So we're it's a whole month. We've got a whole month to be gathering facts, And then with this extra, with this trine here from Pluto, powerful Pluto in Capricorn, we have the trine to the North Node in Taurus. And even though it's squaring Saturn, which rules Capricorn, this trine to Taurus should be helpful in getting us going in the direction that we want to go. Because remember, Taurus is all about our own self-worth, trusting our bodies, what feels right to us, what brings pleasure into our lives, and even the discernment of knowing, is it positive pleasure or negative pleasure? And you'll know by how you feel. That's why I can't stay too long in the political news. We have to just take it little bits at a time and get what we need, and then get out, because there's not much pleasure except for when we start seeing justice. As we start seeing justice, then there's some pleasure, because we've been waiting for such a long time. But if we apply it in just our personal lives, this is about being so grateful for nature. It's spring, I'm still having cold nights here. You can see I have long sleeves because it's cold in the mornings, and I don't want to have the heater on because then it gets too hot at night. So, you know what that's like in the northern hemisphere with, moving from winter to spring. It just takes a long time. So being out in nature, loving the beauty of nature is very Taurian. Taurus and Libra are ruled by Venus. Venus is here in Aries, perfect springtime. She's crossed over Chiron, so we have a new sense of self-worth coming through. And more into the Taurus North Node with Uranus is, we're just about 7 degrees here apart. And Uranus is helping us to wake up. Now, remember, the nodes go backwards, so the North Node is actually moving towards Uranus. These two will be conjunct in it'll be July 31st will be an exact conjunction. And by then, Mars will have caught up and will be there too. So I don't know what's going to happen then. I honestly don't know. There's no way that we can ever tell with Uranus. It's so unpredictable. But with Uranus conjunct here already, Uranus helps us wake up. Uranus helps us to be in our unique individual self, and it's connected to intuition. It's connected to divine mind. And we're talking like the divine mind of the body, like body, soul, mind, spirit. It's all one. And Uranus helps us remember that. So, and it moves, the information moves very quickly with Uranus. And because of this connection to the North Node, and even though it's not, like a legal trine up here to Pluto, I'm still wanting to kind of, break the little bit of the rule here and put that in orb as well, because they blend together, and this, it's connected in a tight orb up here. So, but I think the cutoff in my program is something like 5 degrees, so that's why it's not there, but let's put it there. So Uranus trining Pluto. Now remember, like I said, Pluto's power. Pluto's your self-empowerment versus the government controlling you. So if you want to do something that's something very unique is bubbling up from within, that's a Uranus awareness coming through. And it may be very different than something that you can either get from the government or create just on your own, and you might have to open up to other avenues to get your creative flow going. But with all of this, this is the thing I love the most. And I'm going to include Jupiter there still too. But with all of this Piscean, dreamy, pure potential, unlimited potential, relying on the past resources and strengths that you have from past lives, let that connect to moving you forward. Let that connect to to the North Node here, the Sun and Mercury. All of this is connected in a way that's really beautiful. I'm playing hard and fast with the orbs again here, but the energy is so, I mean, with Pisces, it's perfect for creating anything on film, anything on video, anything on social media, anything that and even helping you to heal through movies. There are movies that are created to help bring awareness. So with Neptune in Pisces, that has been there for quite some time, and Mars and Jupiter will move on, and Neptune will still be there in Pisces for years to come. And there's it's like the planet of source energy, the planet that rules your guides, your guardian angels. It's helps you to transcend. It can be challenging if you're into numbing out, if you're into just resigning from life, if you're into or if you're going through confusing times, right? It can be challenging, but it's really beautiful for opening up and praying. Like if you're dealing with a health issue, or you're dealing with an addiction, or you're dealing with someone in your life who's challenging and who's not taking self-responsibility, or maybe they can't because they're handicapped in some way that doesn't allow them to do what they want, and there's so many different ways of, or so many different challenges us humans have. I think it's very hard to be human, and so when we have these issues, I've learned over the years that every time I ask for help going to sleep with, like, let's say I ate the wrong thing and wound up with a headache. I keep learning lately I can't have as much coffee as I want in the morning. It gives me a headache. I wind up with a headache. And it's really weird. So I'm more sensitive. That's the other thing with all this Pisces energy that we've had. And the older we get too, and because there's such a high level of electromagnetic energy, that's because we've been having these solar flares for the longest time, and they've gotten really intense. All of that makes us more sensitive, and it's a good thing. It's really a good thing, but because we need less, and so this is why the less is more. But the thing is that if you're having any trouble with anything, just ask your guides and your guardian angels. Unless you don't believe in them, then that's okay. Ask your body to heal itself while you're sleeping. I do that every night now, and it works. It really works. So try that out, and you can also send those prayers to your loved ones who are going through a hard time. Whether they accept them or not doesn't matter. When you're sending loving prayers, you're giving from your heart, and I don't think anybody would turn that down. But like little kids, you can't ask them, "Can I pray for you?" Your doggies, right? And your kitties. "Can I pray for you?" It's like, whatever. They don't. They just want your love. That's all they want. So the energies support that, and new paths new trails being blazed with Mars and Jupiter conjunct, and Jupiter newly into Aries, and it's trining the South Node where we have all this past life wisdom that we may not know we're carrying within, because until given the opportunity and something in your life currently, those gifts may not come through. So that's why I always like taking advantage of all issues. So all confrontations, if something's not healed in the past, it'll come through again. And that's what Uranus can help us deal with. Uranus in the North Node, conjunct the North Node, it can help us wake up. And then we also have beautiful messenger Mercury opposing the South Node. And again, messages from the past. Okay, this happened in the past. So you're noticing either you have a gift or you have an issue to heal. Well, trust me, I promise you that all of your gifts are under your wounding. It's not that you have to work to bring out your gifts. You just have to show up, and you have to be willing to work through your wounding, and the gifts are just going to be right there. That's how it works. And that would be natal Chiron in your chart, wherever that is. But we're all waking up to that awareness. So this is important here. Venus with this in conjunct aspect from the South Node. Venus helps to unify. It helps to bring you into harmony. And so there may be an adjustment from the past. So it could be that something early in the morning, it might come through dream time with all this. That's the other beautiful aspect of having Neptune in Pisces. It really heightens everyone's dream time to get the guidance you need. So with Venus here in Aries, there's an adjustment, and it could be something that bubbles up from the past, and you decide, especially after we've had that full moon lunar eclipse, because remember, it's in effect for about 6 months. It was an opening that will not close up until about 6 months from now, so we're talking into the fall. So with the adjustment, it might be that there's a new awareness about the way you've been relating that's coming from the past, relating either to yourself, to your unique individuality, or in relationship with others. And you're realizing, oh, I'm just reacting from a place when I was 12 or 14 or 9, or, you may have some past life memory going on here that comes through. And because of that, you decide to relate in a new way to yourself and others. Everything's always, an inside job. It always starts on the inside, and then it works outwardly. So, and we still have, let's see, actually, I'll leave that for tomorrow. Otherwise, there's going to be too many lines to pay attention to here, I think, for you guys. But with the moon, notice that there aren't any hard aspects. We've got the waning, the separating energy coming from the Saturn square. So that's not really in orb. But what I'm noticing here is Chiron with this semi-square here to the moon. So the moon and that little line right there. So with the semi-square, you guys probably remember, because I've said it so many times, it's a minor challenging aspect. And it's one of those things, it's like a square, but it's just not so intense, it's just not so challenging. But it creates friction. Just remember, semi-square equals friction. And so it's like, if you have an itch, you have to scratch it. Like it requires action in order to reduce it. In order to reduce the challenge or reduce the friction. So whatever that action is, I won't be able to know exactly for you guys, but we're in that realm with Chiron and Aries. We're in that realm of mattering most to yourself, but also not taking things personally. We may be healing. You could have been working with Venus and Chiron together here. You may have been working deeply on abandonment issues, and now that now that Venus is on the other side, there probably was some healing, and especially that will be coming when Jupiter. Now, we're too far apart here right now, but soon Jupiter will keep moving forward, and there'll be, because Jupiter definitely heals. It opens things up and helps heal. And with the semi-square here to the moon, we're in the realm of emotional, so feeling pigeonholed or left out, or feeling like it's not safe to be so different. Those things are needing to be healed. So whatever action you need to take to be your own unique, beautiful self, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, go for it. And if we're, that's one of those other spiritual laws. It's like if we're hurting ourselves, we're definitely hurting other people. That's something to ponder if you happen to be in relationship with someone or you were raised by addicted parents. If anyone will abuse themselves, they will abuse you later on. If it's harsh. Well, even neglect is abuse. So, what else? I'm going to look at the other tomorrow's chart. I'm going to talk about the others. Okay, so for Monday, the moon has moved completely away from Saturn, is now in dreamy Pisces. But what I wanted to look at or emphasize a little bit, and actually, yeah, the moon's, that's 10 degrees. Yeah, okay, I'll include that. So let's look at all of this beautiful energy in sextile to Pluto. And then sextiling over here to the sun. And let's see, let me look at the degrees. So it's 15 to 20, yeah. So I'm going to include Mercury here too. And then, the trine up here to Pluto, all of that is just fantastic. And then the moon sextiling Mercury, and then we have the moon and Neptune up here with the south node. So everything I said for yesterday about dream time, this now, it's noon. I ran the chart so I could get it close to, I changed the time a little bit, so it's not 4 a.m., it's 12 p.m. Pacific time, so that'd be 3 p.m. Eastern. And so you can count on going to sleep with having this dreamy moon-Neptune energy, and Mars is right there too. So again, there's all this wonderful support for helping you in dream time to heal anything that you need to heal. It's excellent for meditation, especially in the afternoon, and to help anything, to try and heal anything from a past life. And for me, I always feel like whatever you're needing to heal is always a false belief, right? That's why we're here. We're here to heal our false beliefs and then get back to that pure emanation of love that we naturally are. So you can also see this other nice little sextile here from Saturn, still square in the nodes, but I'm not going to talk about that. Saturn is sextile Venus, because Venus has moved forward enough. Look at that, 1 degree orb there. That's amazing. So with Saturn, so remember, Saturn is our testing, it's our mastery, it's our creating form and structure, cementing things in our lives, it's our manifesting ability. And in Aquarius, we're in the realm of technology. We're in that beautiful realm of technology with Uranus and Taurus here. I'm hoping that by the time we're fully even when Taurus moves into Gemini, that's still excellent for, the whole United States, and even in rural areas and all over the world, actually, being more hooked up online. But we need these laws to protect ourselves from hate speech and Well, maybe hate speech is okay, but the violence that goes with it isn't. I don't know, you guys. I mean, I'm all for free speech, but my goodness, there are slander and libel laws, and there are. I mean, that all this replacement theory stuff is ridiculous. I mean, it's like, okay. So anyway, but in our own personal lives, Saturn, mastery over making connections. When it comes to Aquarius, Aquarius is wonderful for making connections. It's bringing in those new original ideas, and especially it's connected to tolerance. But on the dark side, it's bigotry. So, you know what I mean? It's like either you're connected literally to your heart, which would be inviting the polar opposite of Leo, or you're cut off from your heart, which would be numbing out, which would be thinking that you're better than other people. And I know none of you guys are like that, but they're out there. And it's that, that need for superiority that is the cause of all issues. Pride. It's all pride, just pride. There's even spiritual pride, right? This is why we get these so-called gurus that think they know it all, and then later on you find out that they've just been abusing people. I mean, even remember like that John of God dude? That guy got into trouble, even him. I don't like the word guru. I don't like the whole pedestal thing and thinking that somebody's better just because they know things. It's like, what? Wait a minute. It's as silly as thinking that someone's better than you because they're more beautiful or have more money, more toys, more cars, more whatever. It's like, no, I don't think so. So, okay, but back to aspects to the moon. I only see one challenge here, unless I'm blind. No, I'm seeing, okay, so the happy aspects are good for relationships and mastery and making connections with those people that you can trust based on past experience with them. And then trust deepens, okay? But you also learn to trust yourself and your intuition. But we do have, notice this moon at 15 degrees here. We've got that semi-square here to Pluto. That can be, remember, the friction, that, something that needs to be looked at. If you're dealing with a narcissistic person in your life, just walk away. You're not going to win. And protect yourself. Don't think that your love can change them with the moon in Pisces. Don't think that, he just needs more love because he was so wounded in childhood. Narcissistic people they don't have any empathy. They're not going to have any empathy. And this might be the awareness that needs to come through. And then you can take that action to protect yourself. Now, the other tricky part here with the day, we've got, so it's a nice sextile to Venus here with Saturn, but we have a square to Pluto. Venus is squaring Pluto. That is a relationship issue. Or it could be both. It could be a relationship issue and a money issue. Remember, Venus rules relationships, money, beauty, nature, all things related to things that bring us together in harmony. But it helps us to get in touch with our values, and it can help us compare. Like, okay, wait a minute. I have this one relationship, just think of it this way. I have this one relationship that's really easy, and it's because they're such a good listener. And we talk with, we have these ideas that go back and forth really easily, and don't feel like this person is ever trying to be like one up on me. And so trust develops over the years. But no, I have this other relationship where they're always trying to be in control. They cut me off when I'm talking. They don't seem to really care what I'm saying. They just want to be heard. And I always end up leaving the conversation or the experience with them feeling awful. That is a problem. That's a relationship problem. So the South Node is supporting us in clearing those types of relationships out and making those changes within, so that we have that self-responsibility, to take care of ourselves. So this, we can see this transit because it's 28 degrees here. We're only at 24 degrees. Venus has to get to another 4 degrees before it's an exact square. So we have a building square here, or a square that's building. So I don't sound like an architect or something. And it still has to, come further out. Now, I haven't checked to see when Venus is going to retrograde. Like, this could be something that we're all dealing with for a little further on. But anyway, let's keep going. So I'm still on a different time here. I just went one day ahead. So in Tuesday, and I did that because I wanted to get on the other side of Neptune with the moon. So again, you probably have had some dream guidance that came through. And you can see that all the other aspects are the same. So I'm not going to speak a whole lot about. Oh wait, hold on. Did I miss? Ooh, I did. I missed. Hold on. Did I? When did I? Yeah, I missed it from Sunday to Monday. I'll talk about it now. But it started on Monday. And what it was Mercury has now backed into Taurus. So we're in that Venus realm. And then we have Venus, remember, still squaring Pluto, right? So there we are there. And thinking about relationships, and that's backing in, it's going to go back. How far is it going to go back? I think it's only going to go back to 20. It's still going to conjunct the North Node at some point. So again, it's like thinking about relationships you want to take forward with you in your life. And are they supported, or do those relationships support you on your path to be self-responsible and empowering yourself? Do you feel better when you're with these certain people, or do you feel worse? Stay away from the ones that you feel worse. Don't waste your life force. Life is too damn short to mess around, right? It's like, why? Why keep doing it? Don't keep doing it. And we have a semi-square here from Uranus up to, oh goodness, there's a couple of them going on here. Up to, actually, I have to put it all together in here. Well, of course, it's a 3-degree orb. Yeah, it's the node. It's this all of this here. There's action that needs to be taken that would honor the guidance you're getting in meditation or dream time, or just that has floated into your awareness, like maybe through a song. A lot of people get dream or song guidance that way, like the lyrics will just float in, and it might be a song that you know, or it might be a song that you don't know. I used to wake up all the time with dreams or lyrics, like first thing you wake up in the morning and you hear lyrics, you hear the melody and you hear the lyrics, and it would be songs I've never heard, and then I'd have to look them up, Google it online. And it's so healing. I would get this phrase that was just perfect, and it also turned me on to some really cool songs. So that's going on for the day. Actually, more than the day. So actions to go towards relationships that are helpful, healing, and help you feel in your power. And I trust that you're not going to abuse that power. And if you do, you make amends. If you catch yourself not caring, or you catch your heart closing, or you bitch somebody out, well, goodness, we have to work through those things when we make those mistakes. But usually, I don't know if you guys are like me, it's like they've had it coming for a really, really long time, and it's the last thing I'll ever say to them as I'm leaving. But I haven't had a relationship like that in a long time. So let's see, what else? With the moon, it's a beautiful trine, but it was there, before. Now, but again, this is noontime. But you can see the trine here. But it's this whole stellium there. And remember, a stellium is 3 or more planets. And with the moon and Neptune and Mars, that's really, really great for spirituality. And owning your empathic abilities in Pisces. Pisces is very empathic. And it doesn't matter what sign you are. It's just that we're so much more sensitive nowadays. And let's see, what else? Yeah, it's just those adjustments. Again, I keep feeling like there's going to be guidance that comes through in dream time or meditation, or like I said, just going through life, not thinking about things so intensely. Like, the quiet times, like when the TV's off and you're doing dishes, or you're vacuuming, or I don't know, maybe even laundry. But when there's no other noise going on around you, or you could have some noise going on, like it could be one of your kids or somebody you're taking care of, or they might say exactly what you need to hear. You never know. So I take the message from wherever it comes, if it's the right message. So let's see. Yeah, everything else is the same as far as the aspects. I've already covered that. So I'm just thinking that Monday night, dream time, and Tuesday, just be open to your guidance. Really be open to your guidance. Hold on. The moon is exactly, notice the 28 degrees here, exactly sextile Pluto. So that even reinforces that. And it brings in Mars as well, because we're talking 1 degree. Actually brings in all of that. We've got a triple sextile here. I'm sorry, you guys. And sextiles are opportunities. They're opportunities. So open up to all those spiritual opportunities that are helping you get in your power, letting your power flow through you in ways that help you create the structure of your life that is sustainable. Even though, we're experiencing crazy inflation, do what you can to, cut down in the areas that don't matter so much to you, and put your money into areas that do matter. And it's going to be different for all of us, and that's also true with, notice how we have the exact sextile here between Saturn and Venus. Remember, Venus is going to rule your money, and Venus in Aries is going to be new ways of making money, new opportunities for making money, and taking that self-responsibility to make those connections and get that, I'm sorry, I forgot to do this, get that going. Get that opportunity going. Perfect. And then let's see. Yeah, we still have the sextile here from the sun. The sun is in this beautiful sextile here with the moon, sun sextile moon. So this opportunity to remember the sun is always about your personal development and your creative self-expression. So ideas, keep your phone close to you, or notepads. Always, be able to write down those ideas, and don't think that you're going to remember them. Write them down. Make sure they're recorded somehow. so that you can go back to them. Because if you don't, they can be very, with Neptune and the moon, it can be very nebulous and like fleeting. So you want to make sure you use that that wonderful Mars in Pisces energy to get these ideas down. Get the ideas down. Could also be gathering facts and articulating some new fact that you discovered. And of course, with this aspect of the architect here from the past, it could just be literally this, because of this new fact that comes in. However it comes in, could be when you're taking a walk, could be any time. It could be something you discover online, and it just suddenly like opens this whole new doorway. It's like a paradigm shift. So be open to that for Monday night and Tuesday. And then I changed the time up here. You can see I've got 4:47 p.m. Pacific time, so that'd be 7:47 p.m. Eastern. And I changed that because I wanted to see when Mars moves into Aries. And now you can see the moon. We have the Mars. Woo, look at that. Look at all of that. Whoa, Nelly. Wow. So this is a massive amount of energy and Mars pushing it. So, wow. So the moon, okay. So Venus was already there, moving a little, had been leading the way. Actually, that's beautiful. I love that. Venus leading the way. But Jupiter's the stronger one out of this bunch because it's the slower moving planet. So Venus holds the power. I'm sorry, Jupiter holds the power. And the power of Jupiter is expanding. It brings in the ability to make new connections because suddenly you're inspired where you weren't before. It makes us feel more generous. It helps, helps in our thinking processes to get to a deeper understanding because Jupiter rules our belief systems. It helps us to just open in a whole new way. Now, newly into Aries, it's going to take 12 years for it to get into Aries again. So you could start thinking about what happened 12 years ago that helped your life get better. Like what was it 12 years ago that helped you open up? So we're talking, what would that be, into 2010? Like what happened in 2010? I think we were, of course, just barely getting out of the awful housing market crash and the stock market crash and all that, thanks to Countrywide and Bank of America and these other dirty banks. Reminds me of that movie. You guys remember the movie called The Big Short? If you haven't seen that, I had to watch it like 3 times to really understand like what happened. But basically, it was bad boys at the bank that did it. Boys and girls. Awful. But so whatever happened in 2010, I think if you think back in your life, it was probably, look back into your life and see what got better. Because Jupiter, even if you lost someone, there still would have been some type of a blessing in it. Like maybe they crossed over to the other side, but now you have this amazing spiritual connection with them, and if it was a parent or a loved one, and now they're literally in the spirit world working on your behalf, and they're your guide. They're one of your guides. Like that's, a very, very beautiful thing. Even though it's painful, because sometimes Jupiter can be loss, but there's always the blessing that comes with it. So Jupiter holding space for something brand new that would be able to create like an add-on, a build-upon, because Jupiter and Saturn are the two builders of the zodiac. So, so something you can build upon that makes your life better. And even though there's no, see how there's 2 degrees here? Well, there's still a bit of a conjunction here, but Jupiter is not conjunct. It's too far away. There's kind of a cutoff point right here. So we do have for sure a major stellium going on right here with Mars, the Moon, and Jupiter. So let's talk about that for a minute. So remember, Mars moves energy. Mars in Aries, Mars rules Aries. So it's big, bold movement. And Mars takes a couple of years, about a month and a half per sign, but it takes about 2 years to get around the zodiac. So again, you're like, what? 2020 sucked, didn't it? 2020 totally sucked. And about this time last year, 2 years ago, because of coronavirus. So maybe there's some new discovery, because Aries brings in something new, and Mars moves energy, gets things going. Yeah, where the new discovery I can say for this week is that some airlines are going back to wear your mask, like I said you should have a long time ago. Crazy. Anyway, smart people are still wearing their masks. Dumb people are going to learn the hard way, because that energy is definitely moving. But if we bring in the moon, now we've got emotional energy, a mood that wants to move, and move in a big way, right? So here, let's break it down. This is a nice little Aries over a few different planets. Well, actually, I'll bring in the other two. But Mars moves in forward in a big way. The moon in Aries can be impulsive if it has to do with a mood. So you want to be careful of, although there aren't really any terribly hard aspects here. The moon at 1 degrees Aries for this entire, it was a buildup. So I don't know that it made a hard aspect before. So it might not be bad. This could be, Aries energy is very instinctual. It doesn't think before it goes. People with Mars in Aries natally, they have to be careful because they can be accident prone. But they're really good. They're usually pretty darn coordinated, except for those times that they're not. And then they'll just like fall down the stairs, or trip over something. And, see, it depends on aspects to Mars. If you have pretty nice, easy aspects, it can be someone who's gifted in dance and, we're talking athletes and people. Mars, well, I don't know if I'd want a Mars and Aries surgeon working on me, but Mars can rule surgeons because it rules metal tools and all other types of tools. But anyway, springtime, it's good for going outside, getting the energy moving. Like if you're wanting to and you haven't yet gotten out and started walking, this would be the perfect day to start, Tuesday morning. And by Tuesday afternoon, as long as you didn't overdo it because it felt so good finally getting out, especially with Jupiter here, because Jupiter will expand your consciousness and it can help you move, in the direction of your instincts. So Mars direction, Jupiter expansion, and the moon in the middle is like, okay, let's go. So that's my little lesson on those 3 planets in Aries. So just remember, Aries is all about moving forward, trailblazing, asserting yourself, and your unique self. Your individual. It's all about moving forward in your individuality. Now, if there's any emotional reaction, but I don't see any hard aspects. But if you do have, because we're human, things come up. if you do have an emotional reaction, it might be around feeling like you were abandoned, left out, or you really wanted to be first and somebody beat you to it. It's like, oh, dang, I wanted to be the first one. This might be something you witness with your kids or your, friends or something. It's like, it's okay. We're all human. So let's look at Venus is 10 degrees, and we've got that tightening orb here, still. Well, actually, no, it's not tightening. Venus is moving away, but Venus has been trying to help us heal our deepest wounding around knowing how much we matter in our unique individual selves, and not feeling like we have to do everything all on ourselves, all on our own, all by ourselves. But Venus here being kind of the leader of the pack, right? I think it's really healing. I think it's actually very, very helpful. There's, nothing wrong with Venus and Mars together. Now, we had that happen, I think, up here when it was in Capricorn, and they've been kind of dancing a little bit together. And at some point, I'm pretty sure, because I bet you Venus is going to go, I'll have to look and see, when Venus goes retrograde, as Mars moves forward, they're definitely going to come together again, and probably in Aries. But we'll see. Okay, so what else? As far as the moon, because all the other aspects are exactly the same. I mean, you can see that Mercury's moved back just a little bit, and the Sun's moved a little forward into 3 degrees Gemini. But yeah, I'm not seeing. I mean, we've got the sextiles. Well, this is actually all really helpful. Yeah, Neptune is in this nice sextile to Pluto. Now that, again, that's that help with spirituality and the power of your spiritual essence on planet Earth. Literally, you're able to spiritualize matter with every breath in and exhale out, that you're connected with your heart and your love. And then you can see this double sextile here, but Jupiter's there and Jupiter's big, so I'm including all three of these. So everything I said about moving forward from your instincts and getting out and doing something, getting something going that you've been holding off on, you're not going to want to hold off anymore, and moving forward should help you feel much, much more empowered. Much, much more empowered. Now, on another level too, Pluto represents our karma. Well, Saturn can be karma. I mean, the whole chart to me is karmic, but Pluto especially can be the karma of our soul over lifetimes. And so working through, transforming our karma frees up our power, frees up our spiritual essence. So that's really good. Okay, now, and then also because Pluto rules Scorpio and the South Node's in Scorpio, that's why, this whole dynamic here is in this whole Neptune trine, South Node, all those planets that were there, and then the sextile here down to the South Node, even though it's a tight orb. It is. Healing the past lives, and healing past false beliefs, and letting go of vengeance, letting go of needing to get even, whatever, to make it right, which is like the cause of all wars. Unless you're having to fight, to stand up for yourself, then that's empowering. But this aspect of the architect, this lever law right here, the more we forgive, open up, let go, the phoenix rising out of the ashes because we decided to forgive and be in our hearts and let go, it moves us forward on our path to create more abundance. Okay. So Wednesday, I went back to 4 a.m. The moon's still in Aries. It's on the other side of Jupiter. So this is the testing point to see, like, did we overdo it if we started exercising? And if we did, we might be a little sore today. And then we go back and go, oh, yeah, I'm not as old as, or I'm not as young as I thought I was. A little older. Need to scale things down a little bit. And what else? With aspects to the moon, well, it's not so challenging to the other planets, but what I want to hone in on here, and then I think I'll move on because I've spoken to everything else, but this moon conjunct, well, it's definitely tight. It's actually the whole thing, but we really have to now include Chiron. So again, I feel like there's some moving forward that helps us heal and then open up to our greatest gift. Because if we go, or gifts, I should say, plural. When we work through our deepest wounding, we access our greatest gifts. So when we let go of our fears of abandonment, when we go through the pain of feeling lonely, we wind up, when we do that, when we go through when we meet the levels of pain that we need to meet, whatever they are, emotional pain I'm talking, then what happens is you come back to yourself. You're there for yourself. You don't abandon yourself. When you stop abandoning yourself by numbing out your feelings, then you come home to yourself. And that's when your gifts come through. It's not through numbing out, right? Because when we numb out our spiritual, we numb out everything. We numb out our spiritual essence. And it's our spiritual essence that helps us to move forward. So with this sesquisquare here to the south node, so it's pretty much the moon, because we're talking a tight orb here, to the south node. This could be a mood that's connected to the past. Again, it's not really a hard aspect, but with the sesquisquare, it's basically like a square and then an extra half of the square, so like or 3/4. What it does is it's like the square, but again, it's less challenging. And in a natal chart, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, you really have to look at where you've been stubborn in past lives that you're working through. But sometimes the stubbornness is there to help you hold on to something that needs to be held on to, because it's like, you don't get past here because it's just not the right thing to do. So it can be a good thing sometimes to be stubborn, to hold a rigid, stance to protect yourself or others. But here, I feel like this is one of those weird little echoes that can bubble up from the soul sometimes. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I've been here before, like a deja vu experience. And then it's so fleeting that you don't remember it. And I want you to, if it comes up, to take the time to go into it. Be in Aries, the spiritual warrior that can go into that spiritual realm with Scorpio and get to the truth. Like, why does this feel familiar? I know I've been here before. And it's totally in the emotional body. And when you clear it out, when you figure out what it was or what it is and why it was there, and you clear it out, then what happens is there's more available life force that flows through you, and your pure feelings are tied to your intuition, your spidey senses, your psychic abilities. That's how it always works. Okay, so then Thursday, the moon's on the other side of Chiron. So everything I said before still applies, but now we have an inconjunct to the south node. Now remember, an inconjunct always has to, and it's just the moon only that is the inconjunct. The inconjuncts they always require an adjustment. So it's going to be an emotional adjustment or a mood that needs to be adjusted. And again, it could be everything I said about yesterday when it comes to that deja vu type of experience or something that's familiar. Somebody says something in a certain way and you get triggered. And it might be a power issue, but you get triggered and your emotional reaction is so big compared to what they said. Or somebody with a voice, like the quality of the voice that, just the tone of a voice can trigger you, and it reminds you of something that needs to be healed from the past. It needs to be let go of. It needs to be released from the past. So be very tuned in to what you see, what you hear, what you experience as you're trying to move forward, but because we're still in this, healing with Chiron. And do the healing work. So, because remember, Venus is still, we're still going through this for some time, a little while, but it's already made it to 27 degrees. Venus is in this square to Pluto, so it's all about relationship and power dynamics. Let's see. It's so hard to tell. Is this, and I should have printed out the darn grid. Now, what the heck does this? I guess it's a little bit of a semi-square with the moon. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Now that I look at the degrees. Read the numbers. So from the moon to Uranus, we do have a little semi-square here, right there. So yeah, again, with the awareness, something that bubbles up, and remember, Venus rules Taurus, so it could be a relationship issue, it could be a money issue, or something you no longer value that you used to, and you've changed so much. It's really good to honor those changes. And notice how Uranus has moved forward a little bit, and it's still in this opposition, but it'll be an exact opposition, soon. And we can see that the, let's see, what was 16 degrees? Let's see what it started off at. Let's even look at it from last week. 15, so it's moved forward a whole degree. For Uranus, that's good. Right? Because these outer planets, they don't move that quickly. Uranus takes 7 years to get through one sign. So let's see, is there anything else before I move on? Mars has that semi-square to Venus. Yeah. So again, it's the I have to take action. Take action. It could be sometimes saying that we're sorry because we noticed like we were impulsive about something. With all this Aries energy, the main thing we're really going to have to be careful about is being impulsive, about moving forward too quickly. Questioning, here's a big one. Questioning our motivations. Why do you want what you want? And if it's to be better than others, and you have to question, second guess yourself about that, but don't judge yourself because it's very human. If you catch yourself comparing yourself against others, well, it's human. We all do it. But when we do it, we're violating spiritual law, because spiritual law says that we are each extremely unique in our essence, and we're not supposed to compare ourselves to others. But we do tend to do it. And, the media and advertising, they all support that because they make money off of it. It's like, sex sales, beauty sells, clickbait and fear and anger sells. So be careful out there. It's a jungle. So let's see, is there anything else here? No. Just, just remember the positive things about Aries, which is bold brave, and moving forward. Just move towards all the good things in life, which are loving and creating win-win situations, rather than, you know, us needing to win. I guess it's good if you're in the Olympics, but... Okay, let's see. What's different today? Oh, the moon's in Taurus. Even has gone over to the other side of Venus. So the moon in Taurus is yummy. This is a good weekend to cook, get some nice food. It's a good weekend to get a massage if you can. It's in square to Pluto, but yeah, you know, I mean, it could be really good for making money too, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. Now there's a little tricky thing right here. I want to focus on this. Forget about the moon for a second. This Mars right here into this semi-square to Uranus could be a little tricky, because there's accident-prone here. So use your intuition. You know, if you're thinking of going out and doing something, but then you feel like, no, I need to do this other stuff that would actually be more self-responsible. Because remember, with Pluto and Capricorn, it's all about self-responsibility and duty. And it's squaring the moon. And the moon in Taurus, it wants what it wants. And Venus there in a late degree Aries is like, and also squaring Pluto, could be a relationship that says, no, I want to go do this, come with me. But your intuition is telling you something that could protect you both, or protect you all, protect your family. You know, like you don't want to go and you don't know why, and you can't even give a good reason, but you just don't feel like it. Trust your feelings. It could be protection. Or if you're like me and you have cards, use your cards. Like, especially the Lenormand. It's like, yeah, he used to whip out those cards all the time. It's like, okay, what would be my experience if I went here today, and then throw a string of cards? What would be my experience if I stayed home today? Throw a string of cards. What would be my experience if I went here at this time, and then throw a string of cards? Check your guidance. So, okay, so what else? It's like I'm remembering that on Danny Shea's, you know, whenever you're watching him, he's got that sign in the back that says, I love it, it's on his file cabinet, big beautiful sign that says, the cards never lie. They don't lie, but I can certainly misinterpret them, that's for sure. But okay, what else? What else? We've got the sun squaring. Is that? No, it's Venus. I'm sorry, it's Mercury. And yeah, we have to look at this. Okay. 25, 27. Yeah. All right. So we have a square here, double square to Saturn. And then, of course, you know, this T-square that we've been dealing with Saturn at the apex. So what are the rules? Can we create this new... can we create these new laws for humanity, which needs to include Mother Earth, right? That's what the North Node in Taurus is all about. And Uranus in Taurus here, trying to help us wake up. So, but Saturn now is squaring, Mercury's backed in enough. It was probably there yesterday and I just didn't notice it. Was it? Yeah, I should have noticed it yesterday. So wait, let me double check, 'cause maybe this is something I need to back into. Yeah, sorry you guys. So Mercury squares Saturn. Okay, so I have to back into, my goodness. Has it been all week? Hold on. Sorry. No. This is last week. Did it start in last week? I don't know if I talked about it last week. And then there's Sunday from last week. Yeah, it was there. I hope I talked about it. It's been there all week. I am so sorry. Okay, so we'll talk about it now, but just remember what I'm about to say applies to all week. Okay, so Mercury square Saturn will bring in, oh crap, what am I doing? Already did it. Mercury square Saturn. So Mercury, remember, the messenger. Squaring Saturn is who's lying to get what they want. Why are people lying just to get what they want? Well, now, little kids lie to stay out of trouble. And that's actually a sign of intelligence when they can figure out how to stay out of trouble. But with this opposition to the South Node here is going on as well, it's something they've done in the past that they are about to get in trouble for. I'm thinking these are some dirty politicians and they're going to lie. So maybe by the end of the week we start seeing, I don't know, could it be like maybe Kevin McCarthy or Mark Meadows or Rudy Giuliani or Jim Jordan or who else? Who was the other guy? Was it Mo Brooks or Paul Gosar? I can't remember, but there was 5 of them that the January 6th committee subpoenaed. And they have yet to respond, but then again, I'm doing this on Thursday, like I said, the 19th. Maybe by Monday even, maybe there's something that comes through. And there's a challenge to authority as to, are you going to speak up? Are you going to plead the fifth? Are you going to come in? Or do you need Merrick Garland to come after you? Like, what do you need to get into integrity here? Because remember, that's what it's all about with this trine to Mercury. This is like the integrity and political justice, basically, with politicians. And, that's where they're headed. And it should, I really feel like once I'm feeling like by the end of July, early August, because this whole thing will be, Mars will be will have gone to connect with Uranus, and Uranus and the North Node will be exactly together. Everything will be there at 18 degrees, and I'm thinking it's probably the political sphere that is just blown up, and it's like nobody can lie their way out of this one anymore. Maybe we'll see some lockups happen, because Pluto's still going to be up here. Same. Okay, let me make sure I don't miss anything before I move on. Notice, the moon squaring Pluto is the only challenging thing for early in the morning. And it's going to start moving towards Uranus. You can see that quickly, or because the moon changes signs every 2 to 2.5 days. So, it's going to take us through the weekend. But this Mercury squaring Saturn, yeah, and the past, and lying about the past, yeah. So again, if it's us personally, and you've been in a relationship and they've been working you and they've been asking for more money, or they've been lying about how they spent money, if this is a partner that you're financially connected with, if you have shared resources together and they haven't been honest, you're going to find out about it, and it's not going to go well for them. Okay, so Saturday, I left it at 4 a.m., And you can see now the moon is conjunct Uranus. There's some big awareness. I feel like just using yellow because, I don't know, feels like a yellow color to me. This is really important. And, you know, the North Node's right there supporting the whole thing, and Mercury's backing towards, it's only going to get to 26 degrees, but let's just bring in this whole Taurian stellium. And it's all opposing the South Node, which is the past, and people who wanted to be vengeful. This is, you know, this is all the dirty politicians that used to say, lock her up. Remember that? And there's some breakthrough. There's some breakthrough. Because the moon, when we're looking at just like events in mundane astrology, is the public. So the public is going to be woken up, and you're going to know about the past. We're going to know about the past. And because of Mars and Jupiter are together too. Whoa, look at that. So something's blown up. And, you know, it's the January 6th committee that was saying that by the beginning, or somewhere in June, so maybe there's something that's going to come out about that, even at this early date. And there's some action that's going to need to be taken because I'm thinking the DOJ is going to call in these guys that want to blow off their subpoenas, or maybe Congress does it. Congress does have the power to lock them up in that little jail, but nobody's ever done it since like 1920. But hey, why not? Throw them in an old jail that hasn't been used. Don't even clean it up for them. Just throw them in there. Let them think about what they've done. Because they have options, right? Mark Meadows, all these guys, they have options. They can come in and give reasons as to prove why they did not, how they were not involved in the insurrection, or they can plead the fifth, which does, imply guilt, or they can reveal that they've gotten a pardon, a pocket pardon that we didn't know about, from Trump, which I think, again, pardons should just be taken away. One person should not be allowed to pardon. I mean, unless there's great evidence and it has to be somebody like on death row, which, I don't know. I don't believe in capital punishment. It doesn't make sense to me. How do you teach somebody that it's not right to murder if you murder them? It's like hitting your kid and saying, don't hit your brother. It's like, duh, what? What did you just do? Right? I mean, the kid, it would be so confusing. All right. So, again, with the moon, notice that there aren't any other challenging aspects, but later on, because it's going to keep moving. This is 4 in the morning, so 7 in the morning Eastern. It's going to keep moving. It's going to get even more tight. And then it'll start moving closer to, so for next week, we'll have the moon conjunct Mercury. We're going to know something. But for us personally, if we just totally let go of any political justice thing going on that I want to see, when it comes to just us, with Mars conjunct Jupiter, we are now moving in the direction that we want to go, and there should be lots of healing support for that. And then the adjustments come in as to the action that needs to be taken, because we're very aware. And even if we don't know with our heads, we know it with our hearts. We can feel it. We know it with our bodies. Our hearts, bodies, soul, it's all one, right? And we've had enough experience, Scorpio, in the past to know how it's going to go, right? Like when repeat experiences happen, it's like, oh yeah, I've gone through that before. You know the right way to go at this point. So I so welcome comments. Let me know what you guys, by the end of the week, or even from last week, like let me know what you've been through and what changes you've made, or what ways that you've decided to like hold tight and dig your heels in because you know you're in the right spot and you want to stay there, and just let the other relationships that haven't been working, that have been floundering around, just kind of just let it all go. Right? And this especially would be, women's reproductive rights. Like, we know we're in the right, and we're definitely going to fight. We're going to fight for that. So it could be some breakthrough around that. There's that possibility because, the moon definitely rules the feminine. But the feminine is within all of us. But we are talking feminine issues when we're in the realm of the moon. So, yeah. So other than that, I can't say anything else about Saturday. And I look forward to hearing from you and sending you big, big hugs. Lots of love. Okay, bye, you guys.